Before this video begins, I want you to ask yourself right now what you think of sweatshops. Do you think they should be prohibited? And are they good or bad?
In 2008, a story was posted on the site waronwant.org reporting on the case of a woman in Bangladesh named Arifa. Arifa worked long hours in harsh conditions for a garment factory, all for only $28 a month. That's low, even by Bangladesh standards, which are only $64 a month. But that's over twice as much as Arifa earns. Now, some may say that the owners of Arifa's factory are treating her and her fellow workers unfairly. I believe that many factory owners do treat their employees unfairly, but that's not the point I want to make in this video. The point I want to make here is that even though sweatshops treat their workers unfairly, they can be good, and there are some things to be said in defense of that. First, you should know that the exchange between the employer and the employee is mutually beneficial, even if it's unfair. Sweatshops do make their employees better off, just not as better off as many think they should be. Let's think about wages. Arifa earned $28 at her sweatshop, but compare that to another worker in another factory that makes just as much as Arifa. This other worker lost their job at their factory when it was closed for violating the minimum wage laws, and that worker had to find work elsewhere. That worker ended up working another job in the area and made even less than before. Studies have shown that sweatshop jobs pay up to 7 times more than the wages paid by other jobs in that same economy. Even if the conditions are harsh, compared to the alternative, sweatshop jobs pay more than most other jobs. This is why workers even accept jobs in the first place. It's the better economic choice. Now, I'm not in defense of forced labor, but so long as sweatshop jobs are voluntary, workers will take the job when it is better than the alternative. Second, even though sweatshops can be unfair, it's a bad idea to prohibit it. People only take the jobs because they are poor and low on options. Taking those jobs away does nothing to help the economy or enhance the people's lives. It actually severely reduces their lives. Most activists aren't trying to shut down these factories, but sometimes good intentions can have unintended consequences. Thinking back to the other worker who was fired because the owners of their factory would have rather shut down completely instead of paying the legal minimum wages. While you can make it illegal to pay less minimum wages, you can't make it illegal for the owners to pay no wages by just closing permanently. The third and last point I want to make is that it is better to do something to end global poverty than to do nothing at all, and sweatshops are doing something to help. They give people jobs that pay better than others, and they contribute to the process of economic development that has potential to increase the standards of living.
To really understand it more, imagine yourself in the shoes of one of the world's poor. You're low on options and you need money. Go ahead and ask yourself, would you rather have a job that makes more money if it meant that you would be working in harsher conditions? Or would you want a job that pays less with not so hard conditions? Now that you know more about what sweatshops can do, ask yourself again, what do you think about sweatshops now? Should they be prohibited? And are they good or bad?